Hello everybody, my name is Cezary Giluk. You can find all previous presentations at my Patreon channel. The fantastic news is that after over 2 months I have already over 1000 subscribers. If you like my presentations, give me thumb up, subscribe, become a member, or buy me a cup of coffee, links below. Please support me, as I cannot do it without your support. A bit more about myself at the end of presentation. Let's go directly to the subject. Today's topics: are sanctions working? There is no yes and no answer. They are working for some, in some areas and not in the others. Russian economy slowed down and is in great difficulties in areas like imports, oil and gas export, doing business with other countries. One of the last shots was banning Gazprom Bank from international monetary processing. There are a lot of Chinese and other companies on the blacklist being prohibited from doing business and selling or purchasing goods. China is supplying a lot of armaments to Russia and a lot of equipment which can be used for civilian or military use. Apart from countries like Hungary, Austria and Slovenia, other European countries stopped importing Russian gas and oil. Due to sanctions introduced by Biden administration, China and India stopped or drastically reduced import of Russian oil delivered by Grey Fleet tankers, and few of them are idling at sea, not being able to deliver oil to harbors. China is more and more cautious about trading with Russia, as quite a few of Chinese companies are put onto the blacklist. They are prohibited from transferring money in banking system. They try to get over it, creating new banks or registering new companies, which are not yet restricted from financial operations, but there is a watch going on and they do not survive long. No country wants to deal with in Russian rubles and what puts further restrictions. Russia is still exporting oil and gas, what brings quite a lot of money, helping them with war effort. Those exports still bring substantial amount of money to Russia. However, European Union talks more about introducing more restrictions on Russia Grey Fleet tankers, especially after few of them broken down, sank, and created an environmental disaster caused by spilled oil. Russia nationalized quite a few of Western companies. They gained financial gains, but are cut off from spare parts and technology. Other companies stopped dealing with Russia, which is in deep trouble as there is no spare or replacement parts available when they need them. Russia do not have advanced manufacturing facilities and all technology, for example, oil and gas processing, electricity producing, car manufacturing, and a lot of other areas were built by Western companies getting involved in Russia. An excellent example may be Russian aviations. More and more often we hear about airplane having accident due to the lack of replacement parts or proper maintenance. Another excellent example is grounding of Russian rail transport due to wheel bearings wearing out and not being replaced. It becomes a real problem for Russia as their main way of transportation is by rail, not by road. There are a lot of areas where sanctions do not work. One of the biggest ones is Russian grey fleet transporting oil. Russia was limited for how much they can sell it for, but grey fleet allows them to avoid it. Very often at the ocean, they transfer the oil from one of the grey fleet tankers to legal one and deliver oil legally. Unfortunately, we are waiting for huge natural disaster. Grey tankers are old and most of them are not seaworthy, and usage of them is a disaster in progress. Some of them were purchased by Russia or Russia-associated shipping companies from scrapyards. There are already cases of Russian grey fleet tankers breaking down or sinking in Black Sea. There are documented cases of oil covering sea and flowing onto shoreline. Oil, when released, is spreading very fast on the water and it may be beyond ability to contain it. Oil-covered surface of the water prevents oxygen to go into the water and sea life underneath surface dies. Pictures show shoreline being covered with spilled oil, making them unavailable and for regular use and unusable. Oil must be manually removed from land and water. There is not enough done to prevent Russia from dealing with other countries. There are no known cases of countries or republics importing electronics growing multiple times every year and those goods being exported to Russia. They got so bold that some goods are not even delivered to those countries or republics but directly to Russia. US and West manufactured electronics and parts are found in Russian war equipment, and there is not much news about investigations and those companies being penalized. There is some talk, but not much action. Another case is that equipment, if it can be also used in military application, is allowed to be exported to Russia. But this equipment is used for military, not civilian purpose. Point of view needs to change. If equipment can be used for military purpose, regardless if it can be used for civilian applications, it should be put on the list of banned goods and suppliers put onto the blacklist and banking restrictions applied. China is making big profits on those operations and is laughing at US and West. Is growing its position stronger, seeing that they can do whatever they are pleased without real response from US and West. They observe war in Ukraine very closely and see lack of response and action regarding Ukraine and accidents involving NATO countries. China is getting bolder and bolder and is getting ready to attack Taiwan and making South China Sea their inland waters, restricting or prohibiting other countries' vessels to travel. It is already partially happening due to militarized Chinese fishing vessels and Chinese Coast Guard attacking Philippines fishing vessels. And after very recent treatment of Zelensky by Trump and Vance, and refusal by Trump to send NATO and American forces to Ukraine to protect borders, China is getting bolder. Unless US and West don't get serious regarding embargoes and restrictions for Russia war Russia, war will continue for next few years. One of the major points is to stop dangerous grey fleet from operating. It will considerably reduce Russian income. One of the Russian philosophies is to get US and West tired of war and slowly pulling out help and resources. Finalizing this presentation. Quite a lot is done, but there are too many loopholes regarding isolating Russia from international trade and making money to support Russian war effort. Technological restrictions are as important as financial ones. One of strong points in stopping China from delivering electronics and other equipment to Russia, it's very important. Putting embargoes on China may be quite a convincing point restricting their supplies to Russia. As China's finances are more depending on trade with US and Europe than profits China makes on supplying Russia. Constraining Russian war machine due to the lack of technical resources like chips and replacement parts for war machine is as important as financials, which will be subject of another presentation. If you like my presentation, give me thumb up, subscribe, become a member, or buy me a cup of coffee, links below. Please support me, as I cannot do it without your support. Now a bit about myself. My name is Cezary Giluk. I'm not military or political science specialist, but have a lot of common sense, watch a lot of social media and news about what is happening in Ukraine, and have a point of view which in a lot of cases is different from experts on social media. To share my look at what is happening in Ukraine, I have created my own channel, Common Sense and Ukraine. I hope that you like this and other presentations. Slava Ukraine!